Time to talk about some more crossover breaker madness. Make sure you guys smash the grab button, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. Yeah, as of filming this, crossover breaker boxes are $92 a piece on TCG Player. People are fiending for at $92. You're getting 5% of that is $4.60. So your box, well, actually you have to factor sales tax on top of that, which is 7%. So you're actually still spending about $93, $94 a box if you're to buy on TCG Player right now. Now you can turn around and go right onto eBay and go find Sassy Auto. Sassy Auto is going to charge you $75.99 a box on eBay. 10% off, or 10% kickback, has rotted away some of the brains of this community in terms of their wallet spending. I don't know what to say. I really don't. First of all, I also want to address the concerns of what's going on over here with crossover breakers. So not only do you have people throwing shit at the wall and watching it stick, going, oh my god, put money in the burner, burn it, when you can come on over alternatively and buy it elsewhere and save yourself $15. I don't know what to say about that. Like, that's so genuinely impressive. Now, I also want to address the other concerns in the room right now about people talking about crossover breakers and how certain prices on the deck cores aren't looking all that inviting to them. It all depends on what pull ratio data is going to look like. I will have pull ratio data for us later in the week. We will have an idea of how this set is looking and so forth. Number two, with this set, there has been talk going around that this set is different than the previous deck build set. That there are more quarter centuries floating around in this set than there initially was. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because it's very, very strange that they would put Duo Driver in as a QCR instead of Detonator on the reveals. And that's kind of been irking me for a little while since I saw that last week when we saw those openings. Because, you know, you're kind of sitting here, you're like, why would Dread or Detonator not be the obvious choice? Because it is the card to make. So we are assuming out here that there is going to be more to this set than what's being led on, as per usual. And I mean, you're no stranger to this. Looking around on eBay, you'll probably see more of this stuff pop up in the next couple of days as more and more stores and things are getting these opened up. So we will see if there happens to be more quarter centuries floating around in this set than was initially led on. Because, man, there is just... why would you pick Duo Driver over Detonator? That just absolutely makes no sense in terms of your choices. So I'm assuming that there's going to be more than three. It was bold of us to assume that we were going to follow the same formula as the last set, where we had, you know, the 3 quarter centuries built into the set. No, I don't think Konami understands gosh damn well how much this set needs to sell and how much people were looking forward to this set. And I hate to tell you this, but Malice and Rizal are massive sellers right now. That's another thing I want to talk about out here. So back to that topic that we were talking about with the prices on those decks. And people looking at these going, you know, I don't want to spend the money on these decks. I don't think it's worth it. You have a ban list lingering back there in the back of the room. The reality of the situation here is going to be the following. You can not pick up Rizal and Malice, and if we get a ban list and they Crater Snake Eyes, they destroy Tenpai by putting Chunder to 1, and you put, you know, Yubel somehow getting filtered because everybody seems to think that's going to happen. If you take care of those 3 decks on the next list, you are going to have Malice and Rizal, obviously, attempting to be the future support line, or the big decks. Now remember, these decks have also not gotten support yet. And it is very typical of Konami to give these decks 2 to 3 waves of support out here. So I think what we're going to see here in the future is some pretty crazy power creep with these decks. I think if you're locking in, you're probably good for the next 8 months to play these decks, depending on, Bonfire, maybe, some other subtle hits along the way. But that's honestly, Crossover Breakers, it's left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths because they're seeing the $92, $93 a box on, Cyber Weekend's Black Friday madness. And you had to have known, gosh darn well, that there were going to be things going up in price. You knew people were going to throw money at their screen. And as we make this video, and, I shout this out, go to eBay, check out the alternatives if you're looking for product. As I shout this out there, the problem still remains, though, that you have people that are very headstrong and either want to only shop at TCG Players, people only want to shop on eBay. You have multiple audiences. I can only propose so many alternatives out here, and bringing up Sasiato is a fantastic person to check out for product at this point. And also to the people out there looking at all of this happening right now, and you're just genuinely entertained or, just by this madness. I know. I am too, actually. I cannot wait. Monday, I think the funniest thing's going to happen is they're going to post the singles for Crossover Breakers on TCG Player on Monday, and you're going to watch people using the last of that kickback on Monday night to rush in on a stampede to try to pick up some of this stuff. And a lot of people are going to be a lot more shit hitting the fan out here. And, we've already got overpriced cards that we have seen over time. This is going to be another one of those cases that, you're going to look at some of those, higher rarity cards and be like, wow, I'm really cool to see that this is worth $200. Or, Kongs and Gamer's Choice had some of this stuff up way cheaper. That's exactly what's going to happen out here. If you've already got people spending $93 a box, all right, this is amazing. I guess the last thing here is, while Crossover Breakers is not for everybody right now, this set is not to be underestimated at all. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will sit here and piss and moan about waifu tax, but this set has shattered, once again, we talk about those expectations. We just came off of Bonanza. Bonanza broke numbers on the secondary community with how many people were picking up those nostalgic QCRs, because we saw that very early card pool and we saw what was short printed. We saw how hard this shit was to get. And you have another situation that you're entering into out here with with Crossover. You have a deck core. You have two deck cores that people really want. You have a budget one. Thank you, Rizel. Also, guys, if you are sitting here and you're like, I don't want to touch this set, pick up Rizel. You can play it with Voiceless Voice, Dinosaurs, Dynamorphia. You can even play Voiceless Voice Rizel if you really want to. Point is, though, you have this cheap core. You have the $40 Ryuji core that we've seen so many places. Even if you think it's going to go down, you have a decent tier 2 deck that you can play off of this that will be pretty manageable. Do not underestimate budget Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, if you're like, well, I'm a budget player, but I don't want to play this. Well, okay. You're just being picky. You have an opportunity in front of you. Dinosaur cards have never looked much cheaper. The only problem is Voiceless Voice cards are a little bit expensive because low just went up in price, which is really, really stupid, by the way, that the Ulti lows they were supposed to stay cheap, but, you had the $15 versions. All of a sudden, this card shoots up because Ryuji's coming out in this set, and people are like, whoa! Ooh, hey, this is too cheap. She was like $15. You could buy it all day long. And all of a sudden, these lows are $32. People are looking at this and they're like, wow, take my money. Yeah, I'm going to Skull Guardian and Friends back at it again. Really, 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 really ramping up some of this action out here. So, Crossover Breakers madness. This whole Cyber Weekend has been crazy to watch. I'm telling you, I've been into 2 days of pulling orders. I haven't even shipped half of this shit out yet. And just the things that people are buying right now is genuinely astronomical. It's very interesting just to see what people are picking up right now. And it's a lot of vintage stuff, actually. Very, very surprising, but that's a story for another day. So, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And I will see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.